Hello, hello, hello. How are y'all doing today? Happy Sunday. Hmm, what happened to my scene? There's the scene. It's always interesting going live. You never get the same experience twice on a live stream. You can hear me. So we have a live stream. That's a good thing. How's everybody doing? Happy Sunday. Thanks for joining. Hello, Becky. Hello, Craig. How are y'all doing? Happy Sunday. Did everybody buy a new home yet? Is everybody that bought a new home near Eastport, are you thinking about selling it and buying your second home? Everybody buys 3 homes, remember. You got to buy 3 homes. You got to keep up with the Joneses, and you got to buy new homes. You have an echo? Really? Do I really have an echo? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I could put my microphones on. I could try. That might eliminate it. Let's try it. And if I go dark, well, that's because I have microphone problems. Do I still? Not yet. Probably next year. You have an echo. Do I still have an echo? Check, mic, check, check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2, check, mic, check. It's gone now. Okay. So it's good. Your sunglasses, but as a wow. The prophet is at Sawgrass, but he feels compelled to join the live stream. Now that is true dedication. I might have to hand out the SOD award for the most loyal member. Thank you, Prophet. Oh, did they open up the rec center yet? Did they open up Blanchard? Did you hear the pickleball noise yet? That's what I want to know. Cruising with the Oldsmobile. How are you doing? Thanks for joining. What do you want to talk about? Well, based on the bond information, Lakeview now is looking like a neighborhood. So we're going to have cottage villas, courtyard villas, and then veranda homes. All of the neighborhoods in Lakeview, take note, are going to have walls. Is that going to be the village of the future? Are all the neighborhoods going to have walls? Do you think the villages will ever go to that model? I think they could sell a lot more homes a lot faster if they had walls around every neighborhood. So you can have cottage villas with walls in the backyard, courtyard villas with walls in the backyard, veranda homes with walls. Designer homes will never go away. So I don't think they'll ever have walls. But a lot of them are going to have those block walls with a small separator. I still don't understand. I'll be honest with you. I still don't understand why they're building any homes without walls. Like, look at this cottage home neighborhood here in LaGrange. Prime location. They're not selling. It's lukewarm at best. Cottage homes used to sell quickly. 6, 8, 12 months ago, 8 months ago, cottage homes sold fast. Now you got cottage homes in the best. I might buy one of these. Why wouldn't I buy one of these? It's a cottage home. I love it. They're efficient. You have elbow room. You feel like you're not on top of your neighbor. I would stay away from this street, though. I think this is going to be a busy street. But this dead end street, I like dead end streets. I'm all about the dead end. So I might be looking at an east facing lanai at the dead end street. Isn't that a dead end street? No, it's not a dead end street. Well, you can get out there. Uh, let's see. So it does go through. But I would be looking maybe at this one, a sun-kissed Pebble Beach, a Sea Breeze. I almost bought a Sea Breeze in the St. Catherine area until I saw all the ugly telephone wires. It was the ugly telephone wires that kept me from buying this exact home. It was the same color, but back in the day, I thought they had horizontal siding. It was the same color. I almost bought this home in the St. Catherine area until I went down there and I saw the ugliness of the telephone wires. I'm all about having a big box with no walls, and that's what the Sea Breeze is. It's a box with no walls. But I like the brightness. It reminds me a little bit of a courtyard villa with all the windows on this wall. I like that. I like this house. It's a box with no walls. And then it's on the corner. Is this a corner one? Corner site? And then it's an east-facing lanai. This is an early morning picture, so you're going to get the sun in the morning. In the afternoon, the sun goes behind the home, and then you can sit there and relax in your lanai. Or better yet, you convert it to a Florida room, because eventually, I just a secret. I'm going to tell everyone a secret. After 10 years of living in the villages, you're going to get fed up with the heat and humidity, and you're going to convert your lanai to a Florida room. That's what's going to happen. I would say 60% of you are going to convert your lanai to a Florida room, and then you're going to find ways to pipe air conditioning into it. And then it's going to actually count towards square footage when you resell the home for the second time, because you want a bigger and better and shinier home closer to the newest town square, wherever that might be, because that's the progression of the villages. It's keeping up with the Joneses. I think they should rename the villages to Keeping Up with the Joneses. I think the Seabreeze, though, had a short garage. I don't like short garage. Why doesn't the villages put floor plans on all of their homes? That's what I want to know. What is a floor plan for a Sea Breeze? Give me a Sea Breeze floor plan. Can you see my screen? Yes, you can. So here, cottage homes here in Edenfield, they kind of sold. I'm surprised they sold as good as they did. Here in Edenfield, where's a Sea Breeze? Give me a Sea Breeze right here. Let's look at the floor plan of the Sea Breeze. Actually, I like this color better. See, they do have horizontal siding on this Sea Breeze, and in LaGrange, they put in vertical. Interesting. Where are the floor plans of the Sea Breeze model homes? It really annoys me. So I end up going 3 neighborhoods over to find a model that has the floor plan. No floor plans. Villages is sloughing. They're listing homes so fast. We got new. I just discovered this. You're going to have a brand new patio villa neighborhood in Edenfield. They did not have this on the map until recently. There's news flash. You're going to have a new patio villa neighborhood in Edenfield opening up soon. This was a green patch until recently. So you can take a look at what it's going to look like. If you look at this home in the backyard, you're not going to see the back home in the backyard. Maybe you will. Interesting. So newsflash, they're going to be called the what villas? They're going to be called the what villas? So I just discovered a news flash today. We can now go on and report that we're going to have Unit 168, the Lisa Villas right here. And these are the Kim patio villas that opened up and are for sale. And they're selling, seems to be selling lukewarm. And then you have The Lisa Villas right here, you're going to see them on the map soon. Why are these courtyard villas not selling? These courtyard villas are not selling at all. Come on, really? You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 courtyard villas out of what, about 60 or 70 homes? They only sold 13. You're going to see a fire sale. My prediction, my opinion, anybody looking for a cheap, brand new courtyard villa, keep your eye on this section. Something tells me these are going to get discounted fairly quickly. When I say fairly quickly, I mean very soon after they were listed. I think these are going to be some of the fastest discounted homes you're going to see. I think you're going to discount these. That's just my opinion. I might be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. And then you've got the brand new Lisa Villas. Let's take a look at the map. I'm expecting these veranda homes. They have a lot of neighborhoods coming online soon. Stop building villages or stop releasing them. I know back in COVID, they kept building homes and they just let these neighborhoods sit idle. That's what they should do. They should just stop releasing these homes. They can continue to build, but stop releasing. You're going to have a flood of homes. And then you're going to have all these people living down here, and then you don't even have a town square that's open yet. This is going to be interesting to see unfold, this whole Eastport area. Where are you? 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 Okay. When you say hello, 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 oh, Becky, hello, I'll just say it once. Use a banned word trying for fault. A what? You use the banned word. YouTube could be funny. You're in escrow on my Cali home. Congratulations, Kimberly. Always late to the party, Kimberly. That's your new nickname. But you're not too late. I will not issue you a demerit point for being late. Hello. Craig says hello. I wonder what decides if there's concrete or block walls. Inventory. It's faster for them to build a home with concrete walls. I think it's faster for them to build a home with concrete walls. I think there's less labor involved. I actually think I might even go out on a limb and say I think it's actually cheaper for the villages to build a home with a concrete wall. I'm surprised they're still building cottage homes with wood frames. But they're trying to keep the price point down. But I think if you do the math, I don't think there's much difference in cost to the villages for building a concrete home versus a wood frame. I would like to see that difference. I don't think there's much of a difference. I really don't. They can crank out a lot of concrete walls in a factory. Yeah, Kimberly, we have a cottage villa for you. Did you watch my video yesterday, Kimberly? This is going to be cottage villas, Kimberly, right here in Lakeview. It's going to be one of the best neighborhoods around. If you buy a home in Lakeview, near Eastport, or even in this neighborhood here in LaGrange, you'll never have to worry about resale value ever again. These homes will just retain their value. They'll keep going up. So many people want to live so close to the town square. I'm just looking at Lake Sumter. They have cottage home neighborhoods, but back in the day, the cottage homes were $1 million homes. They've got 2 of those cottage home neighborhoods near Lake Sumter. Those homes sell fast. They're desirable. It's an awesome location. I'm expecting all of these neighborhoods, Lakeview, this neighborhood in LaGrange, even here in LaGrange, cottage homes here, you're never going to lose a dime on these homes. Never. you'll always be able to resell them because villagers want to live right next to that town square. I don't know why, but it's just how it is. It's how it's always been. People want to live on top of the town square. That's why I said when they started building Water's Edge, this is going to be the best village ever because you can walk to the town square. And look at now, you got homes popping up everywhere in Water's Edge for sale. Not even a year later. Look at 1.2 million. Seriously, are you going to buy a $1.2 million house that backs up to Central Parkway? It is a premier home, but come on. How much did this dude pay for the home? So here's the home, and here's Central Parkway, and you have a golf cart path behind you. You're going to hear golf cars running behind your home day and night. 2 a.m. they're coming home from the town square. Oh my God. And then you're going to pay 1.2 million for it. I don't know. Decisions. But this home's already on the market. Premier home. Oh, nice. Live oak tree, just so you know, for all the new villagers, these are called live oak trees. And they're beautiful. And I have a palm tree like this in front of my home. It's a pineapple palm. There's many different names for it. But this guy spent a ton of money on landscaping. I can tell you that right now. This tree will grow, I don't know, probably 20 feet tall. It's not going to get real tall. And that's why a lot of villagers like it. So my advice, and this is a Robolini palm tree off to the left. Here, let me get my pointer up. So let's talk about landscaping because I'm bored about talking about house. So Robolini palms, very popular. Almost every villager has one. They don't grow that tall. It's kind of like a clump birch tree. They usually have 3 trunks coming out of it, and they're gorgeous to look at. They don't grow so tall. They're going to be easy to trim. This palm tree, I believe, is called a pineapple palm. I have one in front of my home, and every 4 to 6 months, I have to trim it, and it takes a lot of work. And twice a year, they grow seeds, and I trim the seed pods out, and the seed pods essentially are they're big yellow balls like this, and there's a lot of them. So these trees and this landscaping, there's a lot of maintenance to it. So don't be fooled when you go to Florida that everything's maintenance free. These palm trees require a lot of maintenance, and you can hire some professional contractors, and they're going to come over and charge you a couple $100 to trim that tree. Or you can do what I did. There was some guy in a dilapidated Chevy pickup truck that went through the neighborhood and knocked on my door and said, yeah, I think your tree needs trimming. And then I paid him $40, which I know the villages says is technically illegal. You're not supposed to go door to door and knock on the doors and solicit, but occasionally you're going to find a contractor that will do that. So I took the chance and I hired the guy for, I think, $50. And he spent an hour there. He was there with his wife, actually. And he trimmed this tree for me because I was about to do it. Excuse me. My first sneeze on a live stream. But the point I'm making, here's a Robolini palm, Robolini palm, Robolini palm. They've got 3 of them. And then you've got this pineapple palm. I don't have a Robolini, so I can't tell you how much work there is to maintain it, but I don't think there's a lot. It's a small tree with only a few branches, so I think you should be able to handle that. But this tree is going to grow big. You're most likely going to need to have help trim that thing. Palm trees are nice to look at, but they do require a fair amount of maintenance and work. Everybody in the villages wants a palm tree. So what happens is they say, oh, I don't want to spend all the money on the palm. I don't want all the work on the palm. So they put these little Robolini palm trees in. So that's what happens. I think it's a good idea. But that tree is going to, when that tree gets to 10 feet tall or so, it's going to require a lot of work. And cutting these branches down, they're thick. The blades are sharp. It's not a fun project trimming that tree. A lot more work. And the plants grow really fast in Florida. If you're like me from the north in Wisconsin, nothing grows fast up there because it's always freezing cold. In Florida, the plants, the trees, they grow fast. And by the way, let's talk a little bit about ARC and the Architectural Review Committee meeting. The rule of thumb is if you want to cut a tree down in around your home, you have to have ARC approval. If the tree is more than, I think, 5 inches in diameter, like the oak tree behind you, for instance, but don't never cut an oak tree down. They're like sacred down in Florida. They'll never allow you to cut one down. But if you have a tree, like I have a tree, I forgot what it's called. There's a lot of them down there that have really waxy leaves on them. It's kind of like the flowers in Florida. I forgot what it is, but they have them. If it's more than 5 inches in diameter, I think it's 5 inches, you need ARC approval to cut it down. You cannot cut a tree down in your own yard. But a palm tree, you can cut any type of palm tree down you want on your yard because a palm tree is not a tree. It's considered a plant. And the Architectural Review Committee does not oversee plants. So you can cut palm trees down because they're not trees. But if you have a magnolia tree, I have a magnolia tree on my yard. I wish I didn't. They're kind of ugly. They grow kind of tall. They're kind of messy. The leaves fall all over and leaves a mess in the yard. And if I want to cut that magnolia tree down, I would need ARC approval because the trunk is, I think, larger than 5 inches or something like that. But a palm tree, you can cut it down and you can have a 30-foot palm tree you want and you can cut it down. It's because it's considered a plant. Just a little food for thought. Living in the villages, before you cut that tree down, and there's been many stories of many villagers going in the yard, cutting down their magnolia tree, and then guess what? Their neighbor complained. And then they had to go in front of the Architectural Review Committee and they had to submit a request after the fact. And I don't know what they would make you do if they would deny it. You probably would have to go out and buy a large tree and put it back in place. So anything you do outside, and I would even double check on the palm tree, to be honest with you. Before you cut any trees down, make sure you get the proper approval because trees are controlled by the villages. And never cut an oak tree down. That's my advice because you'll never get approval for an oak tree. You do like the vertical side. It's kind of wearing on me, Becky. I think I could live with it. But if there was a home that I liked with vertical and one with horizontal, I still might buy the horizontal just because it's just what I'm programmed to like. But I heard the vertical siding has benefits when it comes to rain, less likely to leak and water getting in behind the siding on the vertical. It's actually better for the rain. So I might go with the vertical. I don't know. Thinking September, any idea where the cottage bonds are in Long Prairie? They didn't really release anything in Long Prairie, or did they? I don't know. I don't think they released cottage bonds in Long Prairie. Mid to high 40s. Yeah, I would say Craig is spot on. The Villages doesn't want to have large price increases. They go out of their way to make sure that maintenance assessment fees, they only go up 3% per year. Your amenity fee, they only go up 3% per year. Although that during the COVID time, we had 9% inflation during COVID, the Villages didn't want to pass 9% a year along on maintenance assessment fees and amenity fees. They could have if they wanted to. They have the legal right to do that. So the villages during COVID decided to only increase it 3%. And that's pretty much what they're doing every year on maintenance assessment fees. Every year it's going to be 3% or really close to it. So that's one thing the villages does well. They try their hardest not to pass along big increases from one year to the next. And you're going to see small increases in amenity fees every year because the villages controls amenity fees. Your district board controls the maintenance assessment fees, and you will see on occasion district boards will pass along a 25% increase in maintenance assessment fees. And that's because a lot of these district boards are really politically motivated, and they want to keep those maintenance assessment fees flat. And they will keep those fees flat for 5 or 10 years. And then on the 10th year, they'll jump it up 25%. And it's all politically driven and motivated. I would rather have those fees go up 3% every other year or whatever. But there's a lot of those district boards, they will keep the maintenance assessment fees flat. And during the years they keep it flat, they're going to take money out of the general fund. Every district has its own balance sheet. It has its own general fund, a big coffer of money that was built up over time through your maintenance assessment fees going in. So there are some district boards today, as we speak, they're leaving those maintenance assessment fees flat. They're taking money out of the general fund to cover up the difference, AKA that's called an unbalanced budget. And if there's any district members watching the live stream, you gotta stop it. You gotta have a balanced budget every year. And you cannot balance your budget by dipping into the general fund. Oh, okay, my rant is over. I think the district I live in is doing that. I think District 5 is doing that. But you all are going to live in the new district, District 15 so far. There's really no history on District 15. They have fund balance, general balance is all in good shape. It's some of the older districts in the north, like District 5, where they're dipping into the general fund to fund their maintenance assessment fees. And then in 5 years, they're going to have a giant 25% increase in maintenance assessment fees. And then all the residents like me are going to be wailing and gnashing our teeth. Why did it go up 25% 1 year? Oh, that's because we wanted to get reelected and keep the maintenance assessment fees low so we can get reelected. There's a lot of politics going on in the village. I don't understand why. It's a retirement community. Why are there so much politics? I would rather have a 2% increase in maintenance assessment fees every 2 years than a 25% increase at the end of 5 years. That's how I am. But some of these district board members, they're political, and they make some weird decisions, bad decisions, I might add. That's why I'm encouraging every one of you to go to your district board meetings when you get to the villages. Every month or every other month, the district board meets. They talk about budgets. They talk about general funds. They talk about money, your money that you're paying in every year on your maintenance assessment fees. That's that fee, $300, $400, $500, $600 fee on your property tax bill. You pay it to Sumter County, and Sumter County passes it back to the district. And these board members are not the brightest bulbs. They're not the sharpest tools in the shed. And a lot of them are tools. Why am I ranting today? So go to your board meetings. Make sure that your voice is heard. And if your board is making stupid decisions, go to the board meetings, and you can walk up to the podium, and they have a time that residents can speak their mind. Make sure you get your voice heard. I got 20 degrees. Where do you live, Becky? 20 degrees? I thought you're in California. Stacy Patio Villa neighborhood in Edenfield. Stacy. Stacy? Stacy? Oh, you're right. No. Are you right? Okay. So I misspoke. You're right. Who are you? Happy Homesteader is right. I misspoke. I looked at the wrong map. So just to let you know, back to the map. Here we go. So these are two patio villa neighborhoods right here in Edenfield. Unit 154 are these homes. They're listed for sale. Stacy Villas. And then you're going to have 153 Jefferson Villas. So you're going to see the Jefferson patio villa neighborhood coming online soon. Whenever they outline the lots on the map, soon you will see dots on the map, homes for sale in the Jefferson Villa neighborhood in Edenfield. I misspoke. You have Jefferson's, and then you have the Stacy's right there. And then you have courtyard villas here. Are these courtyard villas selling? Not really. I think this is a better location than the other ones, but okay, you're right. Thanks for calling me out on that. Stacy Villas. Kimberly, congratulations. I don't want to cottage villa across from a prison, so Lakeview is out of the question. Okay. I can see that, you know, and for those new to the channel, you do have is it a federal penitentiary right over here in this green patch? But well, it's up in here. So the villas here, and people are telling me that you do have really tall lights that shine at night. They shine onto the prison. I assume they're shining away from the neighborhoods. And when I get there at the end of the month, I'm going to go there at night and I'm going to video. I'm going to actually video the bright lights in the big city. And the big city is named Eastport. I actually had one of my subscribers say that the lights from Eastport are pretty bright as well. But then again, they're going to be bright because this is a lot of flat land. There's not a lot of homes built in this area. So you're going to see a lot of bright lights because the homes are not obstructing the light. I want to see all these homes built up and just see how the light situation is in terms of Eastport lighting, in terms of the prison lights. It's another reason I'm not buying in Eastport yet. I want to see what this is all going to look like when it's built up. I really don't think the lights are going to be an issue from Eastport. And if you live on the west side over here, the lights of the prison might be. I have a subscriber saying that they're kind of bright at night, these prison lights. So I don't know. I'm going to look for myself and see what it's like. But then again, if I'm one of these guys, I'm most likely, and I am one of those guys, by the way, I'm most likely waiting for Long Prairie. Maybe I buy a pre-owned, pre-loved home in Shady Brook. What do we got here? Right here. My next home is probably going to be a cottage home. The Seabreeze. This is the home I'm going to buy. Which one? Seabreeze. Yeah, it's got a north-facing lanai, northeast-facing lanai. This is my next home. It's got horizontal siding, so I don't flip out. I'll be okay. 1,500 square feet. That's all I need when I'm 80 years old. I don't want to be cleaning a 2,000 square foot home. I'm just not that kind of guy. So 1,500 square feet for me, perfect size. Here's the phone number you need to call. Vinyl siding. I wish it would be concrete walls, though. I wish they would make this in a concrete wall. And then you don't have much landscaping to really worry about. So I'm not going to have to worry about climbing a palm tree and cutting the palm tree every 4 months. It's going to have vinyl flooring, composite flooring, white cabinets. That checks my box. So this home checks the box for me. Eventually, I'm tearing out the carpeting in the bedroom. I'm putting solid floors down. I hate carpeting. You got perfect house. And it's been sitting on the market forever. So I'm going to go into the Villages sales office and say, I saw this house sitting on the market forever. Would they take? I really don't like the plastic shower. I wish they would have had tile. I probably could live with the plastic shower, and if I could get the home at the right price. So this is the kind of guy I am. I'm going to go to the village's sales office. I'm going to go to the listing agent. Oh, I don't like this. Don't like this. Oh, this home. I was ready to put an offer in on the home until I saw that. Don't like the kissing lanais. I'm not a neighborly kind of guy. I like neighbors as long as they're far away from me. That's fine. So let's look at this house. 349. The house has been sitting on the market for a while. I know the villages wants to sell the pre-owned homes so they don't compete with the new homes. So I'm going to go into that agent and I'm going to say, would you sell that home to me for 315? And then this agent right here, Mary Pearsall, is going to kind of wrinkle her nose, raise her eyebrow at me and say, no. I said, why don't you write a contract, 315, and take it to the owner, see what they say. And that's kind of how I would do it. And then I would get myself a nice, fairly, fairly new Seabreeze for 315. That's how I am. I'm not a new home kind of guy. Although I might be. Maybe one day I will be. $40,000 bond. Interest rate is a little high. I would use that in my negotiating tactics as well. I would use the bond is 5.19%. I can't afford it. I'll walk into the sales office with my pockets hanging out. I'd look like a poor man. That's kind of how I negotiate. Salespeople absolutely hate it when they see me walk in the office. But anyway. Oh my God. Is there, what is this? Is there a road out of Lakeview that goes towards Corbin Trail? Oh, let's take a look. I heard that Lakeview is going to be a cut through. Somebody told me there's going to be a big cut through Lakeview that's going to go to the Eastport Town Square, and the answer is yes. So people might cut through here from Marsh Bend, and they're going to come cruising through here, and then they're going to hit this road here. This is called Sweeney Drive, and then they're going to come up here and go into Eastport. I can definitely see where Lakeview is going to be a major cut through. You're going to have villagers coming through here. You're going to have contractors coming through here as well. They're going to all be coming off Marsh Bend Trail. They're going to go into Lakeview. They're going to push the little red button to raise the gate up. And then they're going to come through and go into Eastport. I agree. I think Lakeview, for that reason alone, be wary of Lakeview. I agree. I think it is going to be a major cut through. I try not bringing that up unless somebody else brings it up. I know one of my subscribers brought it up to me a few weeks ago because I didn't realize that this was a through street. This Mira Way. I thought this was a dead end. And is it only a golf car? Maybe this is only a golf car through. I'm not sure. But I would drive this, and when I'm down there in March, I'm going to see if this is only for golf carts to get through or if cars can get through here. Either way, if it's golf cars, it won't be bad because where's the golf cart trail? Oh, this is the golf cart trail. So you're going to have people coming in and off of this golf cart trail going through the neighborhood. If it's only golf cars that can get into Eastport, it won't be so bad. But if you have automobiles that can get in there, but right now I think it's only going to be golf cars. Either way, you're going to have people cut through. And that's the other thing, even in the northern part of the villages, any place that people can save a minute to get to a town square or wherever they're going, they're going to cut through and do that. I even see that in the north. People are looking to shave time, and they drive their golf cars 100 miles an hour. All of these people have their brand new electric golf cars. Now listen up, electric golf car owners. They all have new electric golf cars that can go like 40 miles an hour right from the showroom floor. Those electric golf cars go fast. The speed limit is 20 miles an hour. Those electric golf cars go, I don't know, like 30 miles an hour. And they're all driving crazy fast, and they're all going through the cut throughs. That's why you watch thevillagesnews.com. You see golf car rollover accidents, people crashing into each other, people driving down the streets with their golf cars. So golf cars are a problem, I'll be honest with you, in the villages, in terms of people using them for cut throughs, people driving too fast with them, people getting into accidents. So I do think that Lakeview is going to be a cut through, at least for golf cars, for sure. It appears to me that this is a weird looking intersection. I'm not sure what that is. But one of my subscribers said that, yes, it's going to be a cut through. So I'm going to go with that. Hi, Jeff. How are you? Thanks for joining the live stream. What do you think will be open at the end of August? Which area? Well, I think you're going to have a lot of homes still for sale in August. I think you're going to have most of all these homes that are on the map still for sale. They're not selling. These designer homes right here in Edenfield, they're not selling. They're releasing them one or two at a time. In August? You're looking for cottage homes in August? I still think you're going to have some of these homes in LaGrange for sale in August. I think you're going to have some of these homes maybe even in Edenfield for sale in August. You got a lot of them for sale for cottage homes. I think you're going to have homes all over the place in August, unless the economy magically turns around and people start buying homes, or unless the Villages magically stops releasing neighborhoods, but it doesn't look like that. They already have this patio villa on the map ready to release when they got a ton of patio villas available. They got patio villas there. That's it. They don't have a ton of patio villas. What happened to these? Did these sell? I can't believe these sold. This is amazing that those sold. Why did those patio villas sell there and these courtyard villas aren't selling? The map's not making sense to me. Something's not making sense with the map. When you look at the map every day, it tells a picture. A dot is worth 1,000 words, and the dots don't make sense. Like this patio villa neighborhood wasn't selling, and then all of a sudden there was a bunch of yellow dots, and then all of a sudden there's no dots. Something weird went on with this patio villa neighborhood. Did like an investor go in there and buy all the patio villas? It just was weird. It's like one day they were there, the next day they were all sold. Were the Villages lax on updating the map, and all of a sudden all the blue dots turned to yellow dot? Something weird happened with this patio villa neighborhood in Edenfield. I don't know what to say. It is right now, it's a pig in a poke. The map at times don't make sense to me in terms of what's available, what's not available. Why don't you buy this home? Mockingbird. Somebody said they wanted a Mockingbird. Buy this one. It does have a south-facing lanai. I still have a hard time going with a south-facing lanai. One of my subscribers said that as well. I said, yeah, me too. It's like, But if you're living in Edenfield, do you really want a north-facing lanai? I don't know with that turnpike there. But anyway. So what's going to be in August? Probably Long Prairie neighborhoods might be coming online in August. You're probably going to have some straggler homes in LaGrange. I think you're going to have some homes over here in Oak Hollow. Hate to say it. You're going to have opportunities over near Marsh Bend Trail, near the prison. Those opportunities will always be there, I think. These homes are taking forever in Shady Brook. Wowsy dowsy. They're never going to sell these homes, are they? What are they going to? Here you can get an Oriole C for $419. That's like the cheapest Oriole C on the market. Let's take a look at the backyard. Wow. So in this case, not only do you have one neighbor smoking his stogie in the backyard, and then you're going to watch two old fogies smoking their stogies. That's why this house isn't selling. You got to put walls up there, villages, when you're building neighborhoods like this. You got to, you gotta. I can't believe that the villages won't go in there and just put a concrete block wall in there. If I was the villages, I would put a concrete block wall in there. I wouldn't even mess around with the plastic wall. I just put the concrete wall in there, and then all these homes would sell. I don't think it would cost a lot of money for the villages to do that either. Just send a construction crew out there in 3 days. You got the wall in, and you got 5 homes sold. And if you're listening to the villages, and I know you are, just put a concrete wall in here. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That's just small. Like my dad would say, these 5 homes are small potatoes in a big field. Villages don't care if these homes sell or not. They're on to the long prairie and bigger and better things. Small potatoes in a big field. Okay, here we go. I'm with Becky, and I do like the vertical siding. I saw it on the Hidden Cove model. You like the vertical. Kimberly changing it up. It does. Same with vertical shower tile. I don't like the vertical shower tiles. I'm going on record and saying I don't like the vertical shower tiles. Don't like it. I can do the vertical siding on the home outside, but not the vertical shower tiles. I just don't like it. I didn't like it. I'm wrong, but it looks like the bond interest rate in, like, yes, it's 5 point something. You want to look at the bond? We'll look at the bond. You want the bond? I think it's 5.01. So the village's bond. I thought I called this out. Maybe not. The village's bond. So anybody that wants to know, how do you get to look for the village's bond? The village's bonds, all I do is type in Google the village's bond up here on the top screen, and then it pops this up. It says Villages Community Development District Finance and Bonds. It's under the finance section. You click on that active link. It takes you to this screen. Now we're on the Community Development District website. Note, there are 2 different websites. There's multiple different websites, but there's 2 major ones. You have the villages.com. They're the ones selling the homes. And you have the Community Development District. They're the ones issuing the bonds. So you go here, and then you scroll down, and then you need to know what county do you own your home in. Sumter County is where the Eastport area is. And then you have all these different districts. I live in district number 5. So you need to know your district number and your unit number. So district number 15. Oh, we're looking at 16. District 16 is Long Prairie, and you will see they only have 8 amortization schedules. Soon, and I'm going to keep my eye on this area, soon they will add more and more. As they release more neighborhoods, a few months before they release a neighborhood, they're going to add the bond schedule here. And that's going to be my tip-off as to, oh, things are coming. And then I'm going to look at the bond, like this bond right here, and it's going to say 5.01% interest. So all your bonds in Long Prairie are going to be 5.01% interest rates. And then I'm going to look at the unit number. It's going to say 294V. I'm going to scratch my head and say, well, that looks like a designer home neighborhood. And then I'm going to look at the balance, 61,351. And that's most likely going to be a designer / premier home neighborhood. And that's how I can tell what kind of neighborhoods are coming in place, because historically speaking, designer home bonds have been in the $55,000 to $60,000 range, anywhere between 50 and 60,000. They're climbing as they build neighborhoods. The bond balances are climbing. They originally were 48,000 a year ago, and then they went to 50,000, then 52,000. I remember doing videos and thinking I'm shocked. Oh, 52,000! My God, when are the bonds going to stop? And now I'm talking about $55,000 bonds, $56,000 bonds. Now Long Prairie, $61,000 bonds. So that's how I look this stuff up. And if you can look at all of these bond schedules, here's another one, Unit 293V, 61,000. And then you look at Unit 279. That's the lots of land that were recently released in Long Prairie. That is, I'll share this tab. Sorry, I didn't share my tab. But now you can see that Unit 279V is 5.01%. And the bond balance is 58,000. So can you see this? Oh, you can't. So now I'm sharing the screen in unit residential units 273. Let's take a look at this one. No, we're looking at this. So 53,000. So this is also going to be a designer home neighborhood. So you can see a big fluctuation in bond amounts in Long Prairie. You got designer homes at $53,000 bonds. You got a designer home neighborhood at 61,000. It's kind of strange. The bonds are really here, 61,604 for unit number 293. That's a huge bond. And then you go over to the map and you share this. And then you're looking at Long Prairie. So this neighborhood here, you can see it's in unit 275. You can see that up in this corner. So then you look at the bond for unit 275, right there, 275, and then you share this tab, and then you look at 275, and then you look at 275, and there's 53,000. Do you find it coincidental that the villages released the designer home neighborhood in Long Prairie, the first neighborhood they released, had a bond amount roughly equivalent to what you find in Edenfield and LaGrange? Or is that, or do you think that's part of their marketing strategy, you know, because they don't want to release the first neighborhood with a $61,000 bond and everybody goes into shock and awe? I think it might be partly marketing strategy myself. So here, this neighborhood they released first, then they released this neighborhood, and this neighborhood is unit 279V. So let's look at unit 279V, and that's this one. And then the second neighborhood they released has the $58,000 bond. So now they're inching their way up. So the question I have is the third neighborhood. Is the third neighborhood going to have the all important $61,000 bond? I want to see how they're going to work it. They're kind of inching their way up. I think this is in part due to some marketing strategy. They don't want to release the first neighborhood with a $61,000 bond because people are going to have a heart attack and they're going to publish it all over. The news will be there. Oh my God, the first over $60,000 bond in the village is Village of Longview. And then it's going to get a negative reputation, and then nobody wants to live in Longview. It's going to be too expensive. Tell me what you think. I think it's part marketing strategy, but I might be wrong. I don't know. So here we go. It's 5.01 actually, right? Yeah, it's 5.01. Essentially, it's 5%. So where are we here? We're back here. Tim this is an important question. When you bring up those bond sheets, does that bond sheet include the price for maintenance and fire? No, it does not. It does not. That's entirely different. Maintenance and fire is called a maintenance assessment fee. That's different than the bond. Totally different. There's going to be two different line items on your property tax bill that you get from Sumter County. You're going to have a line item that's called maintenance fees and a line item called bond. Two different. Your maintenance assessment fees are going to run in that $400 or $500 a year. Your bond amount is going to run in that, I don't know, $2,000 to $3,000, $4,000 per year, depending on the type of home. bigger homes get bigger bonds. Also with the maintenance assessment fees, bigger homes get bigger maintenance assessment fees, but they don't fluctuate as much. I'm paying like $225 for my patio villa in the north for maintenance assessment fees. I think in the south, you're looking closer to $300 a year for maintenance assessment fees on a patio villa. It's one of the reasons I lived in the north, because I wanted lower maintenance assessment fees. The cost of living in the north is lower than it will be in the south. You're going to have bigger bonds in the south, bigger maintenance assessment fees in the south. So I know I talk to a lot of people when I do pre-owned open home videos, and the people that are buying homes in the north, pre-owned homes in the north, very similar to me. They don't want the high bonds and the high maintenance assessment fees that you're going to get in the south. Also, in the north, it's just a little slightly cheaper cost of living. If you go to happy hours, the happy hours at the bars are a little bit longer. The discounts are a little bit better in the north than in the south. And people have told me that as well. So the cost of living in the south is going to be a little higher than in the north. Not a lot, but a little bit. I know when I bought a hamburger over at Terra del Sol Country Club, which is in the north, it's just a little bit north of 466. I pay like $12. And when I went to buy a hamburger at Booster's Bar and Grill, which is near Moultrie Creek area, I think it was $15 or $16, $17. So the hamburger was $3 or $4 more in the south than it was in the north. It's things like that. It's going to be small things. And I noticed some of the bars, and when they publish happy hours, the happy hours are less frequent in the south and shorter time periods than in the north. So it's going to be a higher cost to live in the south. And for some people that matters, because, you know, when you retire, you're on a fixed income. For those people that are really watching their pennies, the difference in cost of living does matter. So I know I see a lot of younger people buying homes in the north. When I'm doing open home tour videos, a lot of those people are younger people. I could not believe it. And when I ask them, well, why you want to live here? Usually they answer, I like the trees, I like the scenery, I like the shade. That's usually the first answer. And then usually second answer, it's a little bit cheaper cost of living in the north. They like the trees. They like to buy a home that has a large, mature shade tree in the backyard. That's why they're buying those pre-owned homes in the north. And you will see when you spend your first summer in the south, in the Eastport area, you're going to wish you had a shade tree. Because it gets hot in Florida. It gets really hot. Yeah, they're separate, Craig. Absolutely right. Can you please tell Congress that? Because they like having their little power trips. I'm not sure what we're talking about there. I'm really behind on my maintenance around. So you're paying $800 for your maintenance. Wow. I know a lot of the designer homes in the north, they're paying in the $500 to $600 range for their maintenance assessment fees in the north. So if you're paying $800, that's getting up there and it's getting kind of chunky, but you know, that's one of the reasons some people are buying pre-owned in the north. You're in Montana. Okay. So it gets cold in Montana, the blue sky state. What is it? The great sky state? Something like that. Are you speaking per month? Not sure what you're talking about. Yearly. Yeah, yearly. Everything is annually on the property tax bill. Okay, Becky. One thing about living close to a prison, escapees will. That's true. Most likely they're not going to come across the street and stay, because that's going to be the first place they're going to look. Yeah, I hate them too. I really do. It's for cars. Is it? So that cut through in Lakeview is for a car? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Craig, you were talking about the cut through at Lakeview. Wow, if that's for cars, that's a game changer in terms of my recommendation for Lakeview. So if you're going to live in Lakeview and if that's for cars, I'll give you my recommendation. You don't want to live along this street. Stay away from Sweeney Drive. Stay away from Sweeney Drive because what's going to happen is you're going to have cars coming in on Marsh Bend Trail. You're going to have golf carts coming in from this black squiggly line. That is golf carts. They're going to all come through. They're going to punch that little red button. The gate will go up and they're going to come through here. They're going to hit Sweeney Drive and they're going to go into Eastport. You're going to have a fair amount of people using your community swimming pool as well for the same reasons. They're going to come here and they're going to be hitting that button. You might have outsiders, people that don't live in the villages, using this pool. You just saw a news article recently in the villages-news.com, people complaining that outsiders are using community swimming pools. This might be one of those pools that they're using because it's so close to Marsh Bend Trail. It's going to be easy for a local to come driving through here, and all the locals know they can come in here with their car, push the red button, and they can go swimming, and they're going to be in there around 7:30, 8 o'clock at night when it starts getting dark, and all the villagers are home snoring. This person is going to build a home right there, and at 8 o'clock at night, they're going to go snoring, and they're going to be watching TV. The locals know that. They're going to come in here, and they're going to go splish splashing in that swimming pool in Lakeview. That's my guess. I hope I'm wrong. But for the cut through, they're going to come in here. They're going to go straight. They're going to hit Sweeney, and then they're going to go into Eastport. And at night, at 12 midnight, when the bar's closed, the villagers are going to get into the golf carts, and they're going to be swerving on the road because they had too much to drink, and they're going to come out of here, and they're going to come down this street. A lot of them are going to go straight because they don't know where they're going. So I would even stay away from Mira Way because they're going to come out of the square and they're going to come this way, and then they're going to come this way, and then they're going to hit this golf cart path and go north or wherever they're south, or they're going to take their cars and they're going to come out here. And this is going to be a dangerous intersection, by the way. Cars are flying pretty fast on Marsh Bend Trail. So this is going to be, maybe I should just rename Lakeview as, this is going to be an exciting village to live in. You're going to hear some news and excitement coming out of this area. That's my prediction. Merritt Field is just above Long Prairie. Yes, it is. What is it about cottage homes you prefer over other types? Well, they're just, you get a lot of square footage for the money. You get a larger lot for the money. Those cottage homes are built on lots similar size to a designer home, so you don't feel cramped in like you do in a courtyard villa or patio villa. And the price is reasonable on you're talking, you can get into a cottage home for like $340,000. They're going to be wood framed. They're going to be lower cost. You're going to have a large lot, so you don't feel so close to your neighbors. That's why I like cottage homes. So how many we got on here? Merritt Field. I wonder what theme that's going to be. I don't know. Good evening, J-Lo. How are you? You are late. So we are officially handing out demerit points to the folks that are tardy. J-Lo, you are officially tardy. Long Prairie with the Mustang Rec Center is very clearly country. Not the biggest country fan, but if that's available. Well, I have a J-Lo is from Texas. She's clearly country, right, J-Lo? J-Lo is gonna love the Mustang Ranch. She's from Texas. May, June, Merritt Field, maybe sooner. Really? Wow. That should be nice. So you have lots of, I think Merritt Field will still be a fairly good area to live if you live in the southern portion of Merrittfield. Yeah. Mustang is on the corner, if I remember right. And correct me if I'm wrong, everyone. We are looking at Long Prairie right here. They do have lots of land, designer home lots, and then you have Mustang. I believe this is Mustang right here, right on the corner. And I think that's actually a good spot for a rec center. Rather than putting homes on the corner of two busy streets, put the rec center there. That's a good idea. And then you're going to have the Long Prairie Postal and Rec right here. That's where you're going to pick up your mail. And then you have this Pullman Rec Center. So you got lots of pickleball courts very close by. So one of the reasons I kind of like Long Prairie is because you got two major rec centers really near each other and your community pool. So if your community pool goes down for maintenance, you can just go over here to Mustang or over here to Pullman and use their pools. That is nice. That's one of the things I do like about Long Prairie. And then Merrittfield is up in this area a little bit north. So keep in mind where the turnpike is. And the further north you go, the closer to the turnpike you get. So, but I still think Merrittfield is in here. This would be still a fairly good area to live in. But that's going to be on you to figure that one out. I recommend you put your boots on the ground and you walk around and you look and you listen, and you go there at night and you look and listen at night as well. Sound travels a lot better at night. Lots of red dots, lots of pre-owned homes for sale. So I already picked my home out. Where is that? In Shady Brook right in here. This one. What about this one? What's this one? Premier home for $649. That's kind of nice. Is that a one-car garage or is that golf car? It's hard to tell. 8-foot lanai expansion, concrete block. I didn't know these. Well, yeah, in Premier Homes they don't make them all in precast walls. Lanai, garage door opener, 2-car plus a golf car. Come on, if you're going to make a Premier home, make it with a third car. Premier homes should automatically have a third car garage. My opinion. It's a nice Premier home, $649. Lightly lived in. Don't like the backsplash. Not liking that backsplash. Looks like fish scale backsplash. Not liking it. I would go dizzy when every time I walked into that kitchen. I would go dizzy. I'd feel like I'd need to run to the bathroom and throw up. The tiles people pick out. It's a nice home. There's no carpeting in it. Wow. Lots of clothes. This woman liked her clothing. Very nice. Oop, there you got the shades in the lanai. Be wary. Anytime you go into a pre-owned home and you see these shades, be aware. That means sun is coming in. Let's take a look at the direction of this home. I'm just thinking out loud. Yeah, see, there you go. It's a southwest facing lanai. And those shades are not enough. It's a dead giveaway. Anytime I did a pre-owned home tour and I walked into the lanai and I saw shade, I saw every kind of sun blocking device on earth. People get real creative with trying to block that sun. They put shades in. They put electronic shades. They put in the manual shades. They put the awning out front in combination with the shades. So you'll see all kinds of creative things that people do to block the sun out of their lanai. That's why I keep stressing you don't want a west or south facing lanai, because these shades are probably not enough to block the sun. You're probably going to also need to put an awning outside. Getting away from the sun is going to be a full-time job if you have a west or south facing lanai. I just saw it so many times in those open home tours that I did. Here, you got the shade on the sun. And it is, even with these shades pulled, that sun's going to beat in there. It's going to be beastly hot. That this lanai is probably going to be close to unlivable. A few months out of the year, January, February, maybe March, you can use it, and maybe November, October, November, December, you can use that lanai. But other than that, there's no way you can go in there in June, probably May, July, August, September. You probably won't be able to use that lanai. It's just too hot. Convert it to a Florida room. Pipe some air conditioning in. That's what they should do. Well, how nice is that, Becky? You can't have enough friends in life. How far up does Long Prairie go? Okay, now we're going to get into the William Vans maps. And thank you, William Vans, for making the maps. They've been a lifesaver. So, how far does Long Prairie go is the question she asked of me. Right here is the William Vans maps. This is the map you want. Let's maximize it to 500. Let's go down to 400. And then we're going to move off to the right. And we're going to go down, 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 up, up, up. It's kind of hard to look at these maps, though. It's kind of wonky. Okay, here. Let's go. So here we go. So here's Farmstead, Long Prairie, Merritt Field. So here's Long Prairie. You can see it. Off to the left is Shady Brook over here, Water's Edge here, and this is Eastport Town Square in the upper left corner, and then Water's Edge, and then Shady Brook. And then you have Long Prairie. This is the neighborhood they just released. I'm going to maximize the map now. Okay. So this blue is the designer homes they just released in Long Prairie. So this is Long Prairie. And then they release these Unit 279 designer homes right there. So here's Long Prairie, and then you have Merritt Field. So it's not far north, and then you're in a Merritt Field. So I don't know if Merritt Field is to the right of this road, or if it's to the left, or if it's both. It's kind of confusing to me where Merritt Field starts. Is Merritt Field to the right and Long Prairie to the left of this highway? I don't know. But this area, wherever it is, if it's Merritt Field, if it's Long Prairie, this would be a good spot to live because it's kind of near Water's Edge. But I'm starting to get a little nervous living over here. For me, living over here is getting a little too close to the turnpike. That's my opinion. So, if you look at the villages map, you might be living over here. Merritt Field might be there, where my yellow dot is. I don't know. So, but living here might not be bad. I don't know. It's really up to you. So down in here would be okay if that's called Merritt Field. I'm not sure by this map. So Long Prairie. Okay, so we know that these neighborhoods were part of Long Prairie because I looked up the bond. So I know this blue patch and this down here. This was all Long Prairie in here. So Merritt Field must be here in the center on both sides of the highway, I'm assuming. So, and then you have Farmstead. But I would identify this area as to be good. This one, the one they just released, this is good. I would be staying west of this north-south road, preferably. And if you can't find anything in here, I'd be staying down in here because I think it's a little bit further away from the turnpike down in here. So I'm not sure what they're calling them. I know that this down here is Long Prairie. Merritt Field appears to be a little bit further north. But if this is Merritt Field, I'd be looking here in this neighborhood, that neighborhood, maybe this neighborhood. Right now it's speculation. You want a 3-bedroom courtyard villa. They do make them. You're probably looking at a Avondale model. I think an Avondale might be 3 bedrooms. Let's take a look at courtyard villas here in this neighborhood. So you probably want to live in this neighborhood in Edenfield, a little bit further away from the turnpike. If I'm looking at a 3-bedroom courtyard villa, you're probably looking, do you want a retention pond view or not? I would be looking maybe at this Avondale. Is that 3 bedrooms? Yeah. Avondale, very popular model, 443.6, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, 2-car garage with a golf car garage. Very popular. When I was doing videos of that new courtyard villa neighborhood they built near Spanish Springs, they sold a lot of these Avondales up in there. So let's look at the floor plan. It doesn't have one. So let's look at the floor plan of the Avondale. Uh-oh. Let's look at the floor plan of the Avondale floor plan. Share this tab. So we're going to look at the floor plan of the Avondale. I don't know why the Villages Golf guy would have that. Floor plan. Sometimes they're hard to find. Explore the floor plans of the Avondale. Avondale. So here the Avondale is 3 bedrooms. You can have an Arlington. 1,600 square feet, Arlington. They don't build a lot of those. They do build a lot of these Avondales and the Winslows as well. So if you want 1,800 square feet or 1,700 square feet, and the Bristols, they seem to build a lot of those. There's the 1,900 square foot 3-bedroom. So the Avondales, the Winslows, and the Bristols is mostly what they build. Rarely do I see the Arlington. So which size do you want? Do you want 1,700, 1,800, or 1,900? The Bristols tend to sell fast. They don't build a lot. And the few they build sell really fast. Explore the Winslow. And here is the floor plan of the Winslow. So the garage is 22 feet 2 inches. That's nice on the Winslow. We're looking at the Winslow, 3-bedroom. So you're walking in the home. You got bedroom 2 in front of you. You got the kitchen. It has a window. Large pantry, walk-in pantry in the Winslow. I like the laundry far away from the primary bedroom. And then the back of the home, you got patio doors, primary suite. You do have this large hallway. You enter this hallway and then you go left to the primary or right to the bedroom. I don't know if you're going to like that. Large closet with a sliding pocket door, 2 sinks, pocket door on the commode. The commode's interior. There is your Winslow. So that's your Winslow. And then you'd have an Avondale. Let's look at the Avondale. Avondale, they build a lot of them. Avondale. Let's look at the floor plan of the Avondale, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. This is 1,700 square feet, about. And then you have a 20-foot, 10-inch deep garage. So the garage is a little bit shallower. And then you got bedrooms all on this side of the home. You're walking in, and then you have the laundry area away from the primary. That's good. Well, you're walking in here, and they have a large U-shaped kitchen on this home. Lanai is off to the side. So keep that in mind. Lanai off to the side. And this is the Avondale, 1700. So that is your floor plan there. So which one do you want? Yes, everyone wants a privacy wall. I would even want one. Now, knowing what I know now, living in the villages for 3 years, you want your privacy walls. Trust me. Privacy is hard to come by in the villages when you live so close. Well, I know. They do. I'm finally getting caught up. I know, I'm sorry. My bad. I'm an old guy. I'm not technologically advanced. Lining in their pockets. Yeah. So I disagree. It's based on the number of lots. Yes. Number of lots. Those bottom amounts have got. Yeah, it is. It's based on acreage. You're right, Craig. The bond amounts is based on how large the unit is, and a unit is a grouping of homes. Like a courtyard villa neighborhood is a unit, and that's how they issued the bond on that unit. And then it's also based on how large the village is, like how much square acreage the village of Lakeview is. Lakeview has a certain amount of square acres, and they only have a certain amount of square acres that are buildable. And then within the buildable area is the units. So that's what it is. You're right. Hamburgers instead of hamburgers. Oh, it's the big sky country. That's what it is. I forgot. Yes. You're not from Texas. Somebody's from Texas. Pest control, I do my own. I don't contract it out. I used to contract it out, and then I watched the individual come in and do it. He charged me a couple $100, and he basically didn't do anything. So I started doing my own pest control. I buy pest control at the Ace hardware store. I buy granular bags and I spread it around. I did have them come the first year I was there. I did have them come and do a termite control, and I watched what they did. They basically didn't do anything. And then I talked to other people that lived in the villages for a long time, and they said, you don't have to worry about termites. So I said, okay, I won't worry about termites. You know, Pullman. Oh, it starts at the Pullman wreck. Okay. Avondale. Geez, he is trolling me now. Yes, this is a non-discriminatory live stream here. Everybody gets bashed equally. I can't see the floor plans. I just show you. I'm not a fan of side. Yeah, don't get the silent. I like the Winslow, I think, except you had the floor plan covered up. The Bristol is a very nice home. Yeah, Bristols are popular model homes. Bristols. Winslow. Which one? Avondale. Let's look at the Bristol. We didn't look at the Bristol, did we? Bristols. Bristols. Print. Maximize. Bristol. See the Bristol. So here are the lanais in the back. And you have a 22-foot, 2-inch deep garage. Lots of people like the Bristol. Entry, foyer. Laundry is probably an okay spot. Kitchen, yeah. Lanai in the back. Again, you have this large hallway situation. You enter, go left to the primary, right to the bedroom. You have a sliding pocket door into the bathroom, closet, walk-in shower. So that is your Bristol, 1,982 square feet of living space. So where are we here? We're looking at the home. Okay, looking at the home. Can you see the Bristol? You can't see the Bristol, the Winslow. Oh, Bristol. I thought you could see the Bristol, but you can't. Share this tab. Okay. So there's the Bristol. So there's the Bristol. There's a button I have to hit, share the tab. So this is the Bristol with a 22-foot garage. Enter, bedroom, foyer, U-shaped kitchen, big island. Keep in mind you can have a side patio here. And I think that's what this is a patio door. Side patio here. And I think that's nice to have. You know, that's what I like about the courtyard villas. You have the lanai and you have the side patio. Side patio is nice to store your junk. Everybody stores their junk on the side patio, like the barbecue grill. Anything that they don't want to put in the garage, they will just store out on the side patio. It is a junk collector space. You will have a air conditioning unit located somewhere out here. Some people store their stuff there. So it's a good thing or a bad thing. But I do like the fact that you have a lanai and a patio, side patio. I like it. Like it. Craig's in the Villages. Craig's in the Villages. Hi, Becky. Hi, Nicole. Hi, John Boy. So any other questions? It's been an hour and 32 minutes of fun and sun here in the Villages. Any other questions before I end the live stream? What do you want to see? Hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. I hope they stop putting in carpet. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know. I don't know. I thought it was going to start in Edenfield, but then I saw homes in the Grange and some have carpet and some don't. So it's like, I don't know. Not until April 1st, Tim, but we are getting close. April 1st. You're welcome, Kimberly. Craig, it just arrived. You can't end it. I thought Craig was here all the time. Wasn't he? Oh, Cruising with the Olds was here. Craig wasn't. So we're going to give Craig a demerit point for showing up tardy. Craig, you got a demerit point. Craig has issued Craig a demerit point. Craig Forbes has issued, no, Craig H has issued Craig and Nicole a demerit point. Oh, you can't see the Winslow. Oh, my bad. Winslow for you. Okay, this is for you and only for you, Becky. Your wish is my command, Becky. So here's the Winslow, 3-bed, 3-bath, 2-bath, 1,800. Lanai in the back of the home. Primary suite. Let's take a look at the garage. It is 22 feet 2 inches. Yes, Yogi Yahui. But the right side is only 20 feet. So this is 1,800 square foot, the Winslow. They do build a lot of Winslows. It's a pretty popular home, 1,800 square feet. You're entering the home from the foyer, straight shot into the bedroom. And then you have the laundry with a pocket door, kitchen. Is that enough cabinets in the kitchen, but you have a large walk-in pantry? Check the pantry out. And then you have the patio off to the left, patio door. I believe that's a patio door. And then the lanai, 21 feet 9-inch lanai in the back. Primary bedroom. Again, you have this hallway concept, left to the primary, right to the guest bedroom, and then you have, it's very efficient to build homes. And when I talk to my architect, they always try to group the bathrooms into one spot because it's just more efficient. All your plumbing is in kind of in one area of the home, so you're going to see your bathrooms kind of adjacent to each other. And if you get in early on the building process, like I did when I built my home in Wisconsin, I put insulation around my bathroom walls to keep the noise down. Running water, showers, sinks, things like that. And you won't believe how much just, was it R11 insulation? If you just put R11 insulation in the walls around the bathrooms, that helps reduce the sound enormously. And you all know I'm sensitive to sound, not only turnpike noise, but also water running in the bathroom noise. So if you do build a home, ask the villages, what will it take to put some R11 insulation just on the exterior walls? You'll be surprised how much that noise will be minimized if you can do that. Just my advice. I did it in Wisconsin, and I was really happy I did it. It's awesome. I could actually sleep at night. So where are we? Did you see it, Becky? Did you see it? Craig the Sailor was late. Call them out. That's what I want to see. Call the people out when they're late. What's the theme of Pullman Rec? I see Kimberly's into the themes. Kimberly, do you like people reading you bedtime stories? Maybe I think you're the kind of person that wants a bedtime story read to you. That kitchen's. That's what we want from you, Craig. We want honest, unfiltered opinions. Oh my God, Becky. RMK, less likely to break a hip when you fall on a carpeted floor. There you go. That is a benefit of carpeting. We should hit the road the last week of March. Drive safe. It's a long drive from the great Northwest, we'll call it. Rock wool. Yeah, you could put the rock wool in between the walls too. But I was too cheap for that, Craig. When I built my home in Wisconsin, I just ran down to the building store. I got some unfaced R11 insulation. I just threw it in. It was cheap. It was easy. And it really worked well. I'm all about the cheap and easy. I need 3 bedrooms. Okay. Well, we just picked out your home, Becky. The Winslow, right? It's on the screen. So let's pick up Becky's Winslow. Now you're going to make me go to the map, and we're picking out Becky's Winslow home. This is the area you should buy the home in. If you're going to buy today in Edenfield, I think this Courtyard Villa neighborhood is going to be good. I don't think you want to buy the Courtyard Villas that are going to be in Lakeview coming up soon. So Becky's Winslow model home is going to be located right here. Winslow. Becky has Winslows. Check this out, Becky. You can even buy a Winslow in Water's Edge. $4,899 for the Winslow. We'll look at that one later. So here, Becky, you got choices. You got this neighborhood here in Edenfield, or you got this one. We're going to find Becky's Winslow. So you got a corner site. You're going to have a lot of people driving in, corner, or you got a south-facing lanai. Becky, this is your Winslow model, 3-bed, 2-bathroom. It is precast walls, backs up to a wall, composite plank flooring, quartz countertops. Becky, the proud new owner of this Winslow model in Edenfield. Congratulations. There is your wall, concrete wall in the back, vinyl wall on the sides. Nice home, Becky. I couldn't have picked a better home out better myself. Composite plank flooring. And check this out, Becky. No carpeting in the bedroom. Look at this home. Call the Villages and put an offer in on this one. Nice home, Becky. I do like the cathedral ceiling. Very high ceiling. I did videos in these homes. Love the height of the ceiling. I like the courtyard villas because of all the windows. I don't feel closed in, confined. On some of the model homes in the Villages, I'm going to be honest with you, on some of the new homes in the Villages, they don't put enough windows in. These courtyard villas, they seem to put enough windows in. I don't know what it is, but they seem to have a lot of windows in the courtyard villas, which I do like. Where's the side patio door? Is there a side patio door? Did I miss the side patio door? There's no side patio door? Don't they have a side patio door? I'm starting to get nervous. There's no side patio door. But there is a side patio, I think. We'll look. Normally they have a side patio door on some of the courtyard villas, most of them actually. Whoa, what did I just see in the closet? Tile floor in the closet? Why are they putting tile in the closet and composite in the rest of the home? I don't get it. I've seen several homes like that. So there's no carpeting, Becky. This is your home. This door will lead out to the side patio. See right there, you go through that door, turn left, and that's your side patio. And there's really no windows on your neighbor's home, so you don't have to worry about an old fogey smoking a stogie when you're on your side patio. But I like the courtyard villas because they give you some extra concrete that you can put stuff. That's one of the benefits of the courtyard villas. So we just picked your house up, Becky. Do I get a commission? Do I get a finder's fee? Yeah, there you have it. We got the Winslow. Finder's fee. I will be in the Villages end of the month. You can forward your finder's fees to me. Yeah, it's concrete under the carpet. Yeah, that's for sure. So if you fall on the carpet, it's still going to hurt. I worked at Disney for 15 years. I'm into themes. That's what it is. You're one of those Disney people. I call them Disney people. The Villages are full of Disney people. You're going to love the Villages. Everybody loves Disney that lives in the Villages. Laundry room is bigger. Where's the Rock and Roll Recreation Center going? You are really into themes. Your plugs. Rock and roll will be up by Green Grove Hill. Really? Becky needs a sycamore. Sycamore. But I don't know. Does this Winslow have a 2-car garage? Only a 2-car. Don't you want a 3-car garage, Becky? Do you want a 3-car garage? Roller walkers move easier on LVP. Needs a different kitchen. Lots of space. I like the color. Yes. Closet stretched to the bathroom has tile. Oh, that's why. Because the closet is in the bathroom. Got it. Oh, makes sense. Is that true on the Winslow? Yes, the bathroom and then the closet. Right answer. No, I get it. Good catch. Not sure that I like the kitchen, but the pantry is a plus. Honestly, the kitchen is the only thing Nicole and I don't like about it. Look at the Charlotte. They should. You want to look at the Charlotte? Now we're going to look at the Charlotte floor plan. Uh-oh. 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 Explore the Charlotte. I will share this tab, by the way. So Craig wants to look at the Charlotte floor plan. So the Charlotte floor plan is this. You got the 22-foot deep garage, two-car garage, entering into the bedroom 3. You do have the pantry. This is the pantry in the Charlotte. It has bifold doors. It's a decent-sized pantry. It has a small kitchen. So tell me, is there enough cabinets in that kitchen with the pantry? This living and dining space will be 1 foot larger than the Raleigh. The Raleigh's the same home, except that it has the U-shaped kitchen, and the kitchen extends 1 foot this way. Side patio door, side patio. So here you have the primary suite, and then pocket door, and then large walk-in closet. And the laundry is here. That seems okay. So there you have the Charlotte. Very popular home. Very popular. And then you could look at the Raleigh if you wanted to. If you wanted to, you could look at the Raleigh. What's the Raleigh like? Same thing, basically. Raleigh. Hopefully you can see the screen. The Raleighs are going to be the same as the Charlotte, except that the kitchen is 1 foot longer and the dining and living is 1 foot smaller, basically. But it's a U-shaped kitchen. So you have all this cabinets here as well as the pantry in the Raleigh. And then it's got a 22-foot deep garage. It's the same footprint. The home is the same footprint. It's just that they changed the kitchen area and the living area a bit. And the bedroom. The bathroom is different. Look at the bathroom. You got 2 closets. Shower here. I stayed in this model on my lifestyle stay down in, what is it? Durham, the village of, it was near the turnpike. I liked it. I liked this layout. I liked this home. It's just that it was on the turnpike, and every time a truck went by, I could feel the floor bouncing. That's how close to the turnpike this neighborhood was. But I like the layout. So that's the Raleigh. They have a lot of windows in the courtyard village because all you can see are those walls. Yes, true. When you look out the windows, it can be a little claustrophobic, so you definitely need it. Yes. Yeah, that's a good idea. It's a good option. The village needs a rock and roll assisted living home. Becky, I prefer, we can't see the Charlotte as Tim is sharing this. Yeah, I did. Didn't you see it? I watched the Eagles from the rock and roll. I like the Raleigh better. You like the bigger kitchen? Yeah, that was the home I stayed in the lifestyle stay. But back then, they called it a Charlotte. I don't know why they took the Charlotte and they renamed it to Raleigh. It really made it confusing. They should have created the Raleigh with the smaller kitchen, but instead they took the Charlotte, they renamed it the Raleigh, and then they created a new model called Raleigh. Confusing. Yeah, Raleigh. I like the Raleigh. All right, I gotta go. I gotta eat. I gotta eat breakfast. Otherwise, I'm gonna wither up and die, and I'll never make it back to the villages on the weekend of March 20th. I'm going to be in the Eastport area making videos. If you see me on the streets, stop and say hello. I like that, but I will be making videos day and night. I will make videos at night as well. But for now, I'm going to end the live. Thanks for liking and subscribing. You've been awesome. We'll do this roughly the same time next week again. They just changed the kitchen. Both are still valid. Oh, yeah. But years ago, the Charlotte had the U-shaped kitchen. And now the Raleigh has the U-shaped kitchen. That's the point I'm making. Years ago, the Charlotte had the U-shaped kitchen. Now it's the Raleigh that has the U-shaped kitchen. So in my opinion, they should have kept the Charlotte, and kept the Charlotte with the U-shaped kitchen. That would have been less confusing. All right, Craig. See you all. Can't wait to see. Get your breakfast, Tim. Thank you. We'll wait for you on a tour. Okay. Oh, yeah. Take me on a tour. Show me the new areas, Long Prairie and all of that. I appreciate that. Thanks, guys and gals. Take care. Thank you, Tim. Good night. Sweet dreams. I appreciate all your valuable information. Thank you, J-Lo.